Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Nyempi, you are Nyempi Nation. This is Nyempi Plays 999 Zero Escape, the Nonary Games. Episode, you heard it right, 69. An incredible number. Couldn't have done it without you, except I have been doing it without you. Now we got this pop-up book. Whoa, it's got letters on it. What is it? It was an L, an R, and a K? What do they stand for? Large, round, and kinky? That's an incredible joke made by me. I can't believe I made that up on the spot. L, R, and K. Where's the R though? There's no R. Alright. This one's called History of the Western World. I assume it's about European history. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave that stick. Just leave it. That thing doesn't seem like you. Oriental history. China's 4,000 years of history? Hey, Chinese history and Oriental history aren't the same thing. History of the medieval period. What's Hellenism? I think it's something like a fusion of Greek and Oriental culture. Oh my god, I actually am smarter than Snake for once. So we are looking for one bulb and one pop-up book called, that kind. No clue what that's for. Why can't we go, I guess? I'm just gonna go through all of them, really. Left to right. Why did mankind lose their tails? Jumbe, do you know what this one's about? Why are you asking me? I didn't even know we had tails to lose. Maybe you should ask a human with a tail. Mankind's oh man, I've lost it. No longer useful, and the nutrients value to grow them were better used elsewhere. At least that's what I read. I was rather young and may have remembered it incorrectly. Why the hell would a kid be reading a book like that? Micrographia, huh? Ah yes, Robert Hooke's favourite work. It was published in 1665. He built a microscope and examined insects, inorganic substances, and other things too small to be seen in detail by human eyes. He then drew pictures of many things he's examined and published them in a book. I'd hazard a guess to say this shelf is concerned with natural sciences. Creatures of the South Seas. What if this one's got fish and stuff? Geology. Something. Okay. Oops. Alright. Bookshelf, yeah, energy theory. So I assume I got everything here. Cosmic inflation. String theory. Field theory. General relativity. Quantum gravity. Well, it's here is Faraday's laws of electrolysis. I believe that's going to be about electrolysis of an electrolyte solution. These particular laws were not stormed by Michael Faraday. Alright. Energy theory. Development of nanotechnology materials. Interaction between shortwave energy and matter. What else have they got? Just listening to you either, the titles are giving me a headache. Can't say fancy technology stuff, and I get along really well. I'm talking about that stuff, and you're gonna have to put me to sleep. Like Ace. So I was just here. Cosmic inflation. String theory. Field theory. Yeah. I was just here. Bunch of books with the black hole hypothesis. History of Buddhism, Rome, Permian creatures, Hellenism, history, medieval, Oriental, history. And look at this. This one's called Greek mythology. Damn, that thing's huge. Can't imagine anyone's actually read the whole thing. Pretty sure it just put me to sleep. Alright. Alright, here. Principles of monkey behavior, huh? I'd imagine that's a book describing paradoxically studied on monkeys. Monkeys are very similar to humans involuntarily, so I imagine the research was fruitful. That's not the only fruit that would be involved. Oh look, Simon, here's a book that's perfect for you. It's called Correlation of Muscle Bone Density and Bone Strength. You're just saying that because it says muscle. No, it says bone, and I want to bone you. Ha ha ha, get it, because it's episode 69. This book is just called Dissection. This bookshelf must be all medical books. But I can tell it sounds as though these books have been organized by genre. This library must be massive. I'm rather impressed with how well organized it is. Shelf. Functions of the human brain. Aren't any more suspicious books? Human equilibrium theory. Human anatomy. Regeneration of internal organs. Ancient gladiators. What's this book doing here? Maybe they are researching human physical limits across history. Look, this one's called Recreation of Lost Human Functions. I think they're talking about if you like lose part of your body and you could grow it back. I don't think so. Maybe they're talking about reconstructing abilities that humankind once possessed. In other words, they may be talking about cultivating a sixth sense. Dissection atlas. This whole shelf is full of medical books. Alright. Buddhism. Yes, I've been through here. Yep. 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 So I just saw that. Okay. Man, this thing is narrow. I feel like I'm walking across a tightrope. Geez, Snake, aren't you scared? Imagine a wall 20 inches wide that runs along the top of a 10-story building. Could you walk along that wall, Junpei? No way. Then what's about a balance beam in a gymnasium? Oh, well that's easy. We don't find that strange. A balance beam is far narrower than 20 inches. So why is it that a balance beam possesses no challenge to you? The hypothetical 10-story wall does. The lights can easily turn people into cowards. From time to time, a life in darkness can give you courage. Don't shove! I'm not kidding, don't push me! Back, man, I wasn't going to. Now that you bring it up. That's right, number theory. I thought you were in the, yep. Indian mathematics. Here we go. What's this? Origin of Japanese folklore. There are a bunch of books about Japanese culture. Most ones about folklore, though. That's my least favorite album. Folklore can cover a wide range of subjects: history, urban life, religious trends, environmental changes, oral traditions. Ooh, 69. Oral traditions. Ooh. Folklore can cover all of those things if you know where to look. It looks pretty deep. Agriculture and historical organizations in folklore. Modern Japanese literature, huh? No funny quips? Hey, there's another one of those picture books here. Something about these things feels kind of nice, you know. Brings back good memories. I guess even people like Saren were kids once. She little brat. Hey guys, cool it? Alright, I think I'm gonna take this picture book with me. And what is it? It's got a magical wand on it. Okay, Tales of Old Japan. So what's inside? Aren't you gonna open it? Pretty sure it's gonna have pages inside. Smile. Whoa. SE5. Sex! Sex, guys! Sex! Another pop-up book. SE and number sticking out. Might be impressive. Number 5 sticking out. I might be impressed if I was 5. So now we need one more bulb. Which... You see that's something on the bottom? The middle of the glass is a cylinder lock. You know, the kind of lock where you rotate the numbers around until you got the right one to open it. What the hell is this? Like they just gave us the answer. Guess might as well give it a shot. One. One, 4, 5, 4, 4, 3. Oh! 6, 3, 2, 4, 1, 5. Oh my god. 2. I got one number right. Huh. You did it, Junpei! Yay! I don't know why, but I don't really feel particularly happy about being praised for that. Whatever. At least the lock's open now. See if we can get it open alright. And it's... A light bulb, baby. Alright. Which means we go to here. Small enclosure with size. Like I mentioned, maybe put on top of this. Okay. So let's put a pop-up book. Okay, how about we try putting these picture books on? Then it's a little weird. And then you put the light bulbs in the light bulb. Alright, so 3 lights in here. I'm gonna change these bulbs. Now they should. Shield Rake 5. It worked. Way to go, Junpei. Good job, buddy. There's something projecting on the bottom. These letters, they seem familiar. Shield Rake 5.
Sheldrake 5?
Oh, I can't spell. Sorry. Why was it automatically on? Doesn't matter. Sheldrake 5. That was, so I assume, the 5th book of the Sheldrake series. That's just my dyslexia. Whoops. Should I read the text out loud?
I think I saw the rest of this collection somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was somewhere around here.
Let's go take a look.
Okay.
Seven and Clover walked off, leaving Junpei and Snake behind.
Sheldrake.
Have you heard of him? Sheldrake, I mean.
Junpei grinned.
Yeah, Lotus told me about him.
He did. She did?
There's a British biochemist named Sheldrake.
Oh
He
my
has a rather
god.
interesting theory.
He's the Funya Rimpa guy.
Morphogenetic fields, which relies on the theory of morphic resonance.
Uh-huh.
Really? From Lotus, huh?
I know, surprising.
Well, Clover also said something to me about that stuff.
She did?
Yeah, what was it?
The ability to access a morphogenetic field is affected by a couple of things. The first is epiphany, and the other is danger.
That girl. I told her not to tell anyone.
What?
You did? Why?
Well,
Junpei's eyes
Look,
narrowed.
man, I didn't push it because we're in a hurry, but I'm kind of sick of this. How about you just tell me, okay?
tell you what?
Don't give me that. About the experiment.
Yeah, the one on the ship. Snake's shoulders slumped and he shook his head slowly.
Ugh.
He'd finally given up.
Very well, fine.
Let's
I'll
go!
tell you everything.
Whew.
But not here. Let's move to the top floor.
Alright. Junpei nodded. With that, they climbed the stairs to the top floor. So I can push you off. Snake was silent for a moment after they arrived, and finally crossed his arms and spoke.
I suppose I might as well start by telling you why.
I suppose. Hey!
And why I made sure Clover did as well.
Oh, god damn it, I knocked over the same bottle of water.
To be honest, the explanation is quite simple.
We were experimenting morphogenetic fields in the nonary game.
Zero told me not to.
Oh,
I had little choice.
what was he gonna do? Kill you?
He didn't walk up and tell me, of course. He gave me a message engraved on a card.
Ooh. Snake reached into his sleeve and pulled out a small, stiff piece of paper.
That's a Braille card.
Huh.
It looks just like the one you showed us earlier.
Yeah.
So you had 2 cards.
No, only one.
It's the same.
Huh?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Because no one's gonna be able to.
I thought
show.
that card just had some rules for the nonary game on it.
Yes, it did. And those were the rules I read you. However, they were not the only thing on the card.
Yeah.
There was something I didn't read. Well, perhaps I should say there was something I couldn't read.
And that was?
Tell no one of the events that took place 9 years ago.
Yep.
Tell, and I activate your sister's detonator.
Ooh.
It's a threat on our lives.
Oh. Well,
Snake nodded.
well, what about Clover? Did she get a message from Zero too?
I don't believe she did. But doesn't it strike you as strange that Zero would shut my mouth, but not hers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be on the safe side, however, I told her it was best not to tell anyone. Still, apparently she told you. That girl.
What's wrong with her telling me? I figured some stuff out with the things she told me. I mean, it looks like the whole activate her detonator thing was just a bluff. She's prancing around downstairs happy as a clam now that you're back.
My clam's notoriously happy. Snake glanced down on Clover and said, examining one of the bookshelves.
That's very true. I've decided I can trust you.
Let's go!
I've decided to tell you the truth.
Ooh.
The chance that Santa is Zero is very high.
But not?
I feel I can assume Santa doesn't have the time to observe us at the moment. And at any rate, even if he were, I very much doubt he would kill us.
Why?
Because we're not his targets.
Clover told me about the four-leaf clover, about the words.
Oh, yeah.
If he knew about that, then he was in my group during the first experiment. I'm sure of it.
Huh.
He wouldn't kill us, no matter what the situation was.
Snake paused and cocked his head, as though he was listening to something very far away. His face looked dark, as though something was weighing on him.
Hey, Snake?
Junpei wasn't quite sure what to say. Snake turned and looked at him.
Yes, I know. You want to know what happened during the experiment.
Yeah.
How much do you know?
Clover told me about...
I see. The morphogenetic field in the experiments 9 years prior. How the experiments had taken place simultaneously at 2 locations, one being the ship and the other being a building in Nevada.
Yep.
And the girl that died during the experiment.
Snake's sister. It's not Snake, Santa. God damn it.
She told you all that, did she?
Yes. Snake looked down. His face was tight. A slight tremor shook his body, and he tried to hide it. He was putting on a good front, but even Junpei could tell he was holding back something deep and powerful. He made as if to brush something from his face, and looked up at Junpei.
At any rate, I now know how much you've learned. All that remains for us to determine
is who did this and why, right?
yes.
Can you tell me what happened?
Yes.
Snake nodded
The
slowly.
people who organized the initial experiment were from a company called Cradle Pharmaceuticals.
I've heard that.
There were 4 of them running the show.
Oh, names. I've got names. I can't read the names, but I've got names. Gentaro something. Nagisa. Teruyaki and Kageshiwa, whatever.
Gentaro Hongo.
Ace.
Nagisa Nijisaki.
I said that.
Teruaki Kubota.
I also said that.
Kagechika Musashido.
I said all of those perfectly. Oh.
Hongo was the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceuticals.
Yo, is that Mr. Greenberg on the right from Ace Attorney? So on the left, it's clearly the ninth man, right?
Nijisaki was his right-hand man and did the lion's share of the planning.
Who would that be?
Kubota led the company's research and development division.
Ninth man.
Musashido was their majority stockholder.
Huh.
It was these 4 people who planned the initial experiment. Let me simplify it for you. Hongo designed it, and Nijisaki put it all together.
Alright.
Kubota developed the technology required, and Musashido provided the cash.
Alright.
So it's Hongo, Nijisaki, Kubota, Musashido...
Junpei couldn't shake the sense that he'd heard those 4 names somewhere before.
Of course, more than 4 people were required to conduct an experiment of this scale. To that end, they organized a top-secret team to assist them with their research. All in all, they gathered 10 people or so. Those 10 completed their team, and they were able to begin the project. They named it the Nonori Project.
Oh.
The purpose of the experiment was to research the prospect of controlling a human mind through sheer will. The vessel, I suppose you could say, for this control was the morphogenetic field.
Yes.
Huh.
Why did the glycerin suddenly begin to crystallize?
Yeah.
Why did the crystal structure of EDT undergo a sudden change?
That's right.
Why did the rats improve their puzzle-solving skills with each generation? Experiments with humans produce the same results. The more people who knew the answer to a question, the more there were who could answer correctly without having seen the problem before. Why is that? How could it happen? The answer is that, and through that field, the resonant event transmits information related to that answer.
So the answer is that the shape of the answer had been stored in a field invisible to the naked eye, and through that field, the resonant event transmits information related to that
That's
answer.
essentially the idea behind morphogenetic fields.
But that's just a theory.
A game
Can't
theory.
bring yourself to believe it.
Yeah.
Let's say someone killed another person because the devil told them to do it. Whether the devil exists or not has no relevance to the murder. They believe the devil exists. Whether or not he does is immaterial.
So what matters here is that Hongo believed in the morphogenetic field.
That's right.
But I still don't get it.
Snake nodded.
You said they wanted to figure out how to control people, right? That is what you were saying.
Yes.
So how are they going to do that with a morphogenetic field?
You just put a bunch of
I'll
stuff
keep
in
it
the field.
simple. Let's suppose 10,000 people have solved a certain problem. The chance of you knowing that answer, even if no one has told you, will go up. Let's have another example, shall we? Say 1 million people were to do a handstand right now. Tomorrow, the chances of you doing a handstand would be higher, even if you had heard nothing of this hypothetical mass handstand. Mankind's thought process and actions are all part of a resonant event. All of the resonant events encoded in the fields are projected onto you. Of course, this assumes you believe in this theory. Do you follow so far?
Yeah.
Now, if there was a person who had the same effect as those millions of people, what would happen? If that one person were to do a handstand, other people would find themselves wanting to do handstands as well.
And then that's where
Can you imagine what a person with powers like that would be able to do?
Come on, there's no way.
I'm not done. Imagine another scenario. Imagine another person. This is an ordinary person. Let's say he does a handstand. What if there was someone who could grab the resonant event he created by doing that and use it to make other people do handstands? What would happen then? A person who has the power to write to the field, and someone who can read from the same. You could think of them as the writer and the reader, or the transmitter and the receiver.
the computer and the monitor.
What would the world be like if there were people with abilities like these?
Junpei thought about it for a moment.
So the transmitter's resonant event can be transmitted through the field and sent to the receiver. And then the transmitter can control the receiver however they wish. That's what you're saying, right?
Yes. Close enough, at least.
Come on, that's just crazy.
Well, if you want to prove that, then you'll have to test it first. At least, that was how they thought. That was why they decided to do their experiment. That was how the Nonary project began.
Snake suddenly looked very serious.
By the way, Junpei? Have you ever heard of the Gansfeld experiment?
Yes, I've heard of the Garfield experiment. The Garfield experiment. Somebody could certainly quite calm.
Yeah, that was an experiment in telepathy, right? You place a pair of subjects in separate rooms. Then you show one a picture and ask the other what they see.
Interesting. I'm impressed. Yes, that is exactly correct.
So, why did you bring up the Gansfeld experiment?
It was used to screen subjects for the Nonary project. The hospital in a remote town was affiliated with Cradle Pharmaceuticals. Hongo used it to conduct experiments on visiting children in secret. Some of them, he found, had potential. He began to gather children that showed promise. Children that seemed as though they might be able to access the field. Of course, none of them volunteered. They were kidnapped.
His face barely moved as he spoke.
There were 9 pairs of siblings taken, for 18 children total.
So, Snake and Clover, Santa and his sister, and then a whole bunch of others.
For reasons that were not fully understood at the time, each pair had 1 transmitter and 1 receiver. They were split perfectly. As such, the 18 children were split into 2 groups of 9. The children who were put into Group Q were the ones who excelled at transmitting. They were transferred to the mock experiment building known as Building Q in the Nevada desert.
So, Clover was a transmitter. Snake would have been the receiver.
The children who excelled at receiving were put in Group A. Group A was then placed on the former hospital ship Gigantic.
So actually it was a gigantic.
From the experiments he had conducted so far, Hongo had learned the following. There are 2 things that can increase one's resonance with the fields. The first is epiphany. The other is danger.
Alright, so we know this already.
Have you ever been faced with an especially difficult problem and thought about it very long and very hard until finally
this
an
is
answer
just
suddenly appeared in your mind?
literally what happened 20 minutes ago.
It may seem obvious to say so, but that is what is meant by epiphany. The information obtained through that epiphany can be easily transmitted through the fields, where it can be easily interpreted. Adding danger to that equation allows for even easier field access. That's where Hongo came in.
Came in where?
They set up a number of puzzles across the Gigantic. The participants had to solve each one before they could move to the next room.
So, the notary game.
Of course, he hadn't forgotten to include danger. He had detonated a bomb on the hull of the Gigantic.
Oh my god.
The children in Group A were forced to play the nonary game as the ship sunk.
That's a big, like, if you're willing to sink the Gigantic, that's like, Jesus.
By forcing the children into a life or death situation, Hongo hoped to increase the likelihood of their tapping into the fields.
Like, that's like billions of dollars you're like putting on the line. Not just putting on the line,
The
you're
children
sinking.
from Group Q, on the other hand, were confined to the mock experiment building, Building Q.
Yeah, brilliant name.
Building Q duplicated the interior and puzzles of the Gigantic exactly.
Huh.
Every detail was exactly the same. Hongo explained the situation to the children in Group Q. Solve the puzzles you find throughout the rooms. When you have the answers, transmit that information to the children in Group A.
Yeah, no biggie, just like transmit it across space.
If you succeed, they will be able to solve the puzzles and escape. But if you fail,
They
then
will
the
die.
Gigantic will sink, and your brothers and sisters will drown.
Yikes.
Those were his orders. Do you know why the astronauts of Apollo 13 were able to return to Earth safely?
Parachutes?
It was because NASA had access to a replica of the Apollo 13 capsule.
Is that, because apparently I've read that they had like isolation. But I don't know if this is what this is. Also, do you really need a CG of Apollo 13?
All of the equipment, the instruments, everything. All of it identical.
Wait, Apollo 13? Huh.
Everything was just like the real Apollo 13.
Apollo
NASA
11
was
was
able to
something else.
replicate the situation the astronauts found
Oh,
themselves
that's
in.
right. I swear I watched the movie on Apollo 13. I think I
By
did for
putting
science.
themselves in the same situation, they attempted to solve the problems the astronauts were dealing with. Once they found solutions, they reported their findings to the men aboard the actual capsule. That was how they were able to return safely.
And that's how they used
It was the same with the Gigantic and Building Q. The children from Group Q had to use the power of epiphany to solve the puzzles they found and transmit what they learned through the fields.
Oops.
The children in Group A, however, they had to access the fields to learn how they might advance to the next stage.
What are they again? What's the actual name? Yeah, who cares?
That is the simplest explanation I can manage.
Huh. Snake sounded defeated. His half-hearted attempt at derision served only to show how much the story had affected him.
Huh.
Just as Junpei was about to speak.
Hey, Junpei,
Yep.
Snake! How much longer are you two gonna sit around on those bony asses?
Hey, only his is bony.
Get down here already!
Simon's voice echoed up from below. Snake took a deep breath and blinked rapidly, as if just waking up from a long nap.
He's right. Let's go, shall we? We don't have much time. We need to get out of here and soon.
So I guess his eyes are just normal for the rest of the time, but all of his sprites are just closed. Snake headed for the stairs, but Junpei put out an arm to
Hold it.
stop him.
There's one more thing I want to ask you.
Morphogenetic fields.
Are you sure that there were 18 kids?
Hold on, my pen's running out. What?
Why?
Well, I thought it was only 16.
16. There's 16 missing kids.
Yes. That was what they said on the news, wasn't it?
Huh.
Yes. I have no doubt that 18 children were abducted and used in Hongo's experiment.
two of them never left?
After all, you couldn't exactly play a nonary game with any less, could you?
You'd
Well,
think that.
yeah, but are you saying that the news got it wrong?
Or that two of them either never left or never came back?
Yes, I am. There were 2 more children. However, they had no relatives that I'm aware of. I imagine no one filed a police report when they went missing.
Cough, cough. Santa and sister.
They were brother and sister,
Santa and
like
sister.
Clover and I.
Santa and
The
sister.
brother's name was Aoi.
Oh, that's a brother's name. Oh,
The sister's name was...
no.
Her name was...
Snake couldn't seem to bring himself to continue. Looked as if what he was about to say brought him great pain.
Her name was Akane.
Oh. What? Wait, no, it can't. It's not. That's not Arakane. That's not Arakane. Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, what?
That was the girl who died.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Okay. Called it. Kind of. Does that mean? Does Santa think June is the Akane? Junpei felt as if he'd been punched in the stomach. Bum bum. His vision went blurry and his head felt light.
Akane Kurashiki died.
But she couldn't have. Unless... Oh no. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. If this... Have they... Ship of Theseus... Ship of Theseus... Akane Kurashiki? Like my Akane? And like... It's her same brain and heart, but everything else is different? Anyway, we'll answer this in episode 70. See you then.